Hi everyone, today is March 13, 2022. Today's Bible is Matthew 24:27. Today's title is Jesus' Empathy and Compassion for Missions. Through the Jesus Christ, compassion and empathy show what we can learn. First, what is the Jesus' compassions? First, Jesus was coming this world for the people who are forsaken, as well as poor and the sicker, and as well as Jesus has compassions, oppressed. His compassion was unconditionally complete reflections, nature of God. So we see our role in Christianity, our compassion of those who suffers. That is Jesus' compassion. So today, Jesus coming to this world, suddenly, he was required in this world 30 years. No one knows Jesus that much, 30 years. But once the time come, proper time, Jesus became the real leader by God. So we see that every leaders, Moses, Abraham, David, Jesus, all suddenly become leaders. For God selected leaders, those. And then, but before they become officially informal or formal leaders, they training by God is long time, and then everyone become leader. Not just leader is accident through the Jesus Christ, through the Moses, through the Abraham, through the Davids. They are so struggle be until become real leaders. So leaders chosen by God. Maybe there is a leader by chosen by peoples, leader by chosen by themselves, or leader by chosen groups. We have small leader or big leaders everywhere. But however, today's I want to thinking about what leaders is really Jesus Christ and all the Bible's leaders. What is similar? And as well as I'm a politics candidate, U.S. Senator, I'm thinking about politics, leaderships, what should do, what is really effective our life to follow. So there is differentiations, not only just the leaders, just working harder and effort. There is needed empathy as well as compassions. What differentiation just the leader working hard? Or leader has empathy, which is they can feel, they can talk, they can understand, as well as not only understand, if they have a compassion, which one is they have a motivation to help people. So Jesus Christ as leader, he does not only effort, he was empathy, which is understand poor, understand the seeker, understand forsaken, understand oppressed peoples. So that's why not only leaders, those elements of leaderships or qualification is not just only effort, working hard, difference. Like example, at the hospitals, doctors went to medical school and working hard at the hospital, and another doctors, his daughter had cancers, died for that cancer, and working hard at the hospital, helping those same cancers, their daughters. that is differentiation, because those doctors who had cancers, their daughter, they had empathy, understand how struggles those cancer patients, how struggles, because she had the same cancer. And then those patients, family, listen, those doctor has the same situation. They feel like empathy, because my doctor had empathy because they have the same situations. That is important in politics leaders. Understand those empathy, not just working hard effort. That's why Jesus' leadership is so good model, even politics, because Jesus has empathy. Jesus was God. Jesus came to human, and 30 years, feel every tortures, tears, hardships, pains. Those things Jesus was feel same times. That's why we call like Jesus able to empathy with the human. But Jesus does not have 30 years and just suddenly coming like leader. Maybe we cannot just verify Jesus' empathy with us. Same kind of feeling he had, same experience he had. But we can call Jesus empathy leader because of he had our same situation, humankind. So that's the same thing as the politics leaders. When we are speech, we see many politics, their life experience. We see their background. So if doctors understand doctors and patients, pastors understand people's life, teacher understand educations, professor understand education, economists understand economists. So who become like business owners, understand same business owners. Who become medical staffs, understand what is the medical field look like. So I want to talk about my own story that I was medical staff in hospital. I care so many cancer patients, as well as deaths, people's I am even take care of. Many delivery rooms, I working at a delivery room, operation rooms, as well as ICU, intensive unit. So difficult, but still I did not really understand the pain. But when I had a hair color allergies, I had a hair color allergy before, and I feel so torturous those allergy, and I feel that how patient suffers. I have empathy once I really painful through those allergies. Sometimes we are all catch a cold, and sometimes through this COVID-19. Same, you have COVID-19, you know how suffer, you have empathy. The differentiation just listening to TV, COVID-19, people deaths, we do not have empathy that much, just knowledges. But someone who your family member had a COVID-19, their deaths, you have empathies. I had some empathy because my aunt last year, she passed away. But we cannot have a beautiful funeral service, even very limited service. We have empathies because of the same COVID-19, million people dies. Their families, members, they have just gathering funeral service, not like regular funeral service. So I have empathy through those COVID-19. My aunt passed away. She was all his life professor. Even her son is a doctor and professor in medical Oklahoma University. Still, they don't have power that much to some special treatment their mother because it's, same situation, COVID. So we all have empathy if we have really those suffer family. So that is differentiations. Just without empathy, without paying for ourselves, be doctor or be medical staff, there is differentiations. Just working hard, study hard, working hard, just effort. It's not really 100% make leaders. We have to have empathy to understand those situations. That's why, especially political leader, when you choose a political leader, you should check out how many empathies they have it. Like you see doctors, you feel that doctors' empathy. You have a veterans, they have a veteran life. You see the veterans. You see the candidates who are business owners. You see those business owners' empathy. You see the educators, professors, like me, like a principal of a non-profit business school, and then entrepreneur, 28 years, and pastor, 32 years, and medical staff, almost 5 years. I have some empathy, really, not effort, just not effort. Working hard is not enough to be leader. But today is not, I am only talking about empathies. I'm talking about compassions. So we can have empathy, we can have understand all the situations, but Jesus' leadership is not just empathy, because Jesus, we understand the forsaken person, we understand the seeker, who is a seeker, we understand who is oppressed peoples, but the Jesus is not stopped there, just understand and understand like empathy. But Jesus also had compassions, that Jesus' compassion is that differentiation to make other leaders, which is there is so many leaders that times what Jesus lived. There is many political leaders. There is many same things can do what Jesus do, healing painful peoples through their skill or study, like medical doctors. But Jesus, what differentiation Jesus and those regular medical doctors that time was Jesus? There is a lot of miracle person. They can do a lot of things like same thing. Jesus, what differentiations? The true story, which is Jesus was true from God, true has compassion for peoples. That is difference, making difference leaderships. So, second things we have to think about that the great leaders make a second leader. Only empathy, only effort is not enough. Wanna be great leaders, have compassion, willing to helping people, those people who are sufferers. That is real leaders we needed to see. Like those compassion leaders able to make a second leaders, which is Jesus' compassions, make a discipling, 12 discipling, and those 12 disciples get a large people's followers, because of they see the Jesus' compassion through their discipling, 12 discipling, and the apostles. That's why today we still look at the Jesus' compassions. So that's why we follow, we trust God as Jesus is God, as Son of God. We know occasionally we go worship every Sundays, Lord days, and celebrations, resurrection of Jesus, celebrations return back to us as a Savior. So that's why the differentiation, just working hard, just effort with the empathy, with the compassion is so different. So today's, those Jesus had a second leaders automatically, as well as Moses, had a Caleb and Joshua's. As thousands people follow Moses, needed those Joshua, Caleb's control under control. Because those Moses was empathy, because he has empathy, because he is the same Israelite, even he born Israelite, and he was study under living with Paul kings in a family as an adopted son. But he has empathy as the same nations, Israelite. That's why he's become like murderers. For those empathies bring him to murder. So sometimes we have to have harmony, those empathy, because many people, those empathy using, long directions, because too much empathy make long direction like Moses. Moses was empathy, those Israelites whose slaves were beaten by, armies, Egypt. So he was so empathy, same, he find out who he was. He was born as a Jew. And those empathy make him murderers. So that's why today's readers, they have so many empathy. They try to solve with those empathy, understand, but we have to be harmony. The leader have to control those empathy, the line of that able to real harmony, like Jesus Christ. He was the Son of God, but he does not appear Son of God. He understands like humankind. He was harmony with the humans, and he was harmony with them to control himself, not like appearance like God, like strangers. Jesus was a stranger appearance, too much miracle appearance. It's maybe, people uncomfortable to follow him, but Jesus was harmony, need his empathy, which is understand, not like movement, not like be crazy. So once we have empathy, we have to be harmony, control our empathy, be like harmony with the peoples who you have it, feeling like giving you empathy. So like I'm an immigrations, I have so many empathy. There, I learned, I am consulting immigrations. There is so many legal system right now. It's far away from those outdated immigrations. So I have empathy, those immigrations, how suffers. And there's also, I have some, have to be harmony. I have knowledge legal. I have knowledge business. I have knowledge for the immigration. I can be really compassionate, need them to understand, solve solution, need compassion. Also, I have the harmony, need them to, not be like too crazy. So that's why it's very important. So readers, compassion readers, empathy readers, always a good follower. So without those empathy, you cannot be really good leaders. Or furthermore, without those compassions, you not be really, better leaders than who only had empathy. So compassions, also compassion is different. You can have so many passions in your life, your own benefit. The compassion is other person, like focus on other person. Passion is focus on yourself. So there is if you have you have empathy, and as well as you have no sympathy in the passions, it becomes really limited in the readers. You should have those empathy as well as compassions. You will be better readers. So today we have so many readers in the world, but we see that Jesus Christ is really his ministry. See the one of model every reader's positions. that are really Jesus Christ ministry. We can see even many politics needed to learn through his compassions, through his heart missionary. So we have the politics or any other leaders' positions, we have it. The things we cannot make ourselves is the best without those empathy and without those compassions. So as well as I want to really focus on that today's politics, really they have compassions, or they have empathy, or they have only effort. So real voice, real message, if you know, they want to be like voice of the peoples, they have to be really understand. If they want to be support people's voice, they have to be in support, understand. You know, that's the voice is more strong than just listen, just acting without those suffering. So as I am pastor, I see so many sufferers, independent, you know, indirectly or directly through, because of a pastor is always dealing with the suffer peoples. So I understand, I have empathy. That's why I'm learning church to compassion, to helping those people like Jesus Christ. So today's, you know, we have to make open compassions, appreciations, respond particularly needed. So today is the 21st century. We have so many problems here. You know, we have like terrorisms, civil wars, and then, you know, climate change, migrations, you know, all those happening here. So we have the empathy. It seems to be not only desirably qualified for the leadership. It's really necessary because, you know, many being authority, those politics positions, any position, any leadership positions, they are not fulfilled successfully because of they don't have seems empathy and compassions enough. They are disqualified because they don't have, they have effort, they don't have empathy, they don't have compassions. So that's why be useful, really considerable those politics. You know, we need to understand those situations or the issues like business issues, immigration issues, education issues, health issues. So all of those issues, we was there, the persons more like understand. So when we are political corruption because we didn't see that much empathy leaders or compassion leaders like we see many empathy, you know, Abraham Lincoln. He had empathy for slavers. He changed. He has compassion. Compassion is commitment, actions. We can do empathy, but compassion is a different story. The next level, we have the actions, commitment. Like Martin Luther King has empathy as well as compassions. And Ronald Reagan's, you know, empathy and compassions. Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, also compassions and empathy. So all of those leaders, they are increased trust, increase those populations follow because of those has more like empathy than like effort, more compassion than just empathy. So that's why, you know, like we need to cultivate need those empathy and compassion and those working hard, just effort. So we have to have it looking for empathy leaderships as well as compassion leaderships, especially in politics leadership. So empathy requires effective communications, need many people's situations, and then emotional connections, improve performance, and as well as ethical decision maker related empathy. And that's why if they don't have a fully experience or empathy, they don't understand those connections, relationships, and communication is moral decisions concerning commitment to lead others. That is also empathy. So we understand those empathy is so important to politics leaders brought to special expectations. The politics have to answer those special groups' requirement, like issues. So that's why the politics leaders should have many empathies, better candidate. So who can handle many background, diversified background like me. It's better to solve a lot of issues, solutions better because I have more empathy. So we needed to balancing those empathy, able to timely, we needed to answer those leaders, taking decisions, able to solve issues, solve like social issues, solve many issues in America. So people is not interested in those issues when those empathy, compassion leaders able to make those people who even uninterested peoples, they'll be interested. So that's why politics leaders, those empathy, compassion, always interested peoples, not money, not authority, not powers. Always needed to those empathy, compassion in peoples, neither peoples, both peoples. That's why it's empathy important to political actions, highlight, clarified who has empathy or not. We have to judge those politics has empathy, your issues. They can able to decision for your issues, to write legislators, make laws. So distinguishes that's empathy and compassion. That is a real, the object of what, distinguish that between those empathy and compassion. So more like compassion is leaders that around the world that their characters, presence, more like follow those make compassion leaders that follow our necessity a lot of ways. Because we have empathy, people, they're not movement to solve those issues. But compassion leaders, they are really fight for that, our necessity. So we have to find out those compassion leaders, then only empathy leaders, then only effort leaders. That's why we need important those compassions as well as. So this world, so many readers has empathy and compassions as well as capacity. So the compassions have to be related to capacity, make a sense to understand other people's subject, which is other people's suffer, other people's what their thinkings. Those are the differentiations. Compassion is concerning other people first. So those concerning, not only just concerning, willing to helping people. That's the way of, we call it compassion leaders. So between compassions, we have to really target those processings where they focus on themselves, just only understand, or what they go for commitment to do something, as well as motivation others, motivation follows, motivation people. So that's why we need to really exercise those, not only empathy, compassions need entail deep motivations, caring great toward others, well-beings, as well as target to the others. That's why compassion is more intense to the involving a great degree of sharing suffering. Because of Jesus, you see that Jesus' compassion is, he passed 40 days, not even 1 day. We ourselves, 10 days past, we are like not normals, but not even 2 days. But Jesus was past 40 days, nothing eating, feeling his compassion's intention to the involving greatly those human problems at times. So that's why we call Jesus is compassion leaders, always ready for actions. So many politics leaders, they are not actions, they just empathy, they working effort themselves, not focus on others. So we evaluations, though Jesus Christ, the compassion is, we are one best model politics, we need to really make those happening together, like social groups, outsiders. Even Jesus, non-Christians, many people, they follow, and that time, because they are outsider, still follow Jesus, because though Jesus compassion make outside follow Jesus Christ. So today's, what kind of leaders we are looking for as politics? We have to have really looking for those politics has qualifies or not. Do they have empathy? Do they have compassions? Do they have ready to commitment? Do they have really helping your issues? That is most important. You choose, you want to vote for those, people select Jesus Christ. Right people's Moses, selected by God, also by peoples. So Abraham's, David's, you see that David's life is so struggles until he became real king, outsider. He was outsider from the Solomon, until Solomon's born, generation to generations, they have become like a king's family. He was outsider. He was even dangerous from King Saul, attacking him, always killing. But he had so many followers, even he doesn't have anything that time at the desert. Always, follow the Saul's army. Still, he has a lot of followers. How can that happen? Because he has empathy, he has compassion. How that happened, Moses, at the desert? How those people able to follow 40 years, Moses, even does not seem like not Canaan's, next days. 40 years they waiting, generation to generation, people death, people born, their dreams, generation to generation, go to the heritage mission to get the Canaan. Because those Moses, compassion from God, empathy from God, they're able to make Moses able to create leaders. Jesus can great leader, granted from God as Son of God. So today is the most important president, as well as senator, as well as any Congress, any politics leaders. We have to remember those empathy, not just only effort, not just only empathy. We have compassion to like Jesus Christ. So today's, we have to really find out those great leaders who can fight for your issues, had a not just only good record. We need to really fight for someone who really fight for our issues, make a happening to this world change. We need to find those California real leaders, be all the politics, real leaders can commitment better life for us and our generation to come. Let's pray.